All right, hello and welcome back. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been going over a series of videos for the Rankin Technical College Summer Adventure Academy Android App Inventor 2. And we've so far created 7 different apps for this academy. And to quickly go over them, what we've done so far is we created an all-American application, which was simply just a form with 3 buttons on it. The form was yellow background color, and it had 3 buttons that were entitled red, white, and blue. And as you clicked each button, the form color, background color changed to that particular color. Then we did the Boy Who Cried Wolf, where we had an image of the Boy Who Cried Wolf and 2 buttons, one that said it's the wolf or something like that, one that said just kidding. When you pressed them, you got the computer simulated text-to-speech. Then we went to Hello Kitty Doggy, where you saw the power of being able to use buttons in Android App Inventor 2 and put images on them. So we had 3 buttons, one with a cat. When you clicked the button, it would meow. One with a dog. When you clicked the button, it would bark. And one with a dog and a cat. When you click the button, they would both meow and bark. Then we did Rankin Plus, where we took a quick look at the web viewer, and we set it up so that it was able to, by default, allow us. It had 3 buttons on the app, and when you clicked the button that said Facebook, it went to the Rankin Technical College Facebook page. When you clicked the button that said Twitter, it went to the Rankin Technical College Twitter page. When you clicked the button that said Google Plus, it went to the Rankin Technical College Google Plus page. In addition, there was a text box and a button, and you could put in your own web address. And as long as you formed it correctly and you clicked enter, it would take you to that particular address in the web viewer below. From there, we did 2 versions of a guessing game, all right, where the user entered a number between 1 and 100. And it was a randomly generated number, and the system told you whether your guess was too high, too low, you got the number, or you guessed an out-of-range number. All right? And then we refined that in the 6th project, where what we added in the 6th project was sound to the application. Now, we just finished going over a xylophone application, which showed us a lot of different things. How we could use one sound object to hold 8 different sounds, one at a time, of course. How we could store information temporarily and then retrieve it and play it back. And in this project, again, we're going to go over the simulation of a Magic 8-ball app. All right? So, as we get started, I do have Android App Inventor up and running. Let me mention, I can see that I've got my mail open, so I'm going to close that so we're not disturbed with any sound. Okay? All right. So I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to name that new project, let's just call it 8-ball. I must begin with a letter. How about 8-ball? Okay, well, let's make it Magic 8-ball. So Magic 8-ball. Click OK. The project, I have dedicated 5 lectures to this, but it probably won't take that long. In many ways, this isn't really that difficult of a project. We're going to start by grabbing an image component and just dragging it out here. For now, I'm just going to leave it there by itself. Underneath that, I'm going to put a label. Underneath that label, I'm going to put a text box. Underneath that text box, I'm going to put a horizontal arrangement, and that horizontal arrangement will hold 2 buttons. Now, it looks innocent enough, so to speak. So let's build it from the bottom up. So, with these buttons, this button will just be called Button Submit. The text on the button will be the word Submit. right, I want that button to, in fact, let's go to the horizontal arrangement here, and let's set the width to fill parent. Okay? All right, now for our button here, we're going to leave the height at auto, and the width we're going to set to 48%. Okay, there it is. I'm going to set the font size to 18, and I'm going to bold it. All right, so that button's finished. Now the other button that's here will be our reset button, so let's name it accordingly. So that will be button reset. It will again be 18 points for the font. It will again be bold. Don't worry about that. That'll be fixed in just a minute. The width on it again will be 48%. The text on there will be simply the word reset. All right. So those are our two buttons. That's good. That's what I wanted. All right. This text box is going to hold our question. So we will call it text box question. Again, the text in there, for uniformity's sake, if lack of nothing better, will be 18 points. It'll be bold. Don't worry that you can't see anything right now. That is just fine. In fact, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 20 points. All right, so it'll be plenty big. We're going to take the height on that and make it 125 pixels. So it's a little higher. And we will make the width on that fill parent. All right. And let's give a hint in here, and it'll say, enter your question here, then press submit to see your answer. All right, now it doesn't show, it'll show when we run it though, okay? All right. And then for our image that's right here, oh, I'm sorry, we got our text box first. That text box, I'm sorry, not text box, that label, try that again. That label, let's make that about 20 points, about 20 as well for the size. Let's bold it. We'll leave the height at automatic, and we'll set the width to fill parent. And I'd also like to align that, center align that. And the text that we're going to put in there is ask your question below. I'm not going to be, really working here and making this interface pretty or anything. I'm not really concerned with that. All right, we'll call this, well, again, let's just call it what it is. So label, ask, question below. Okay. Finally, we've got our image. Okay. And for our image, we'll leave the name set to image. We could change it if we wanted to. It's not really going to be that important. Okay. But this will also be auto for the height. And for the width, we're going to have it take up the rest of the screen. Now, there's nothing in it right now, but there will be in just a minute. What I did, good, bad, or indifferent, is I went out to Google Images, all right, and I typed in Magic 8-Ball Answers, as you can see right here, okay? And then I started looking through this, and I thought, well, this is a lot of work. That didn't look bad, and that doesn't look bad. But I kept perusing my way through here, and eventually, I know they're here, I found this. Okay, and what we have there are 15 different answers for our Magic 8-Ball. Yes, no, it will pass, count on it, maybe, you're hot, ask again, no doubt, absolutely, go for it, wait for it, not now, cannot tell now, very likely, and it is okay. So I saved that particular image, and then I went in and used Paint, and I cut this into 15 different images. Each one as shown right here. And just so you see this, you're going to get these images, but there they are. So for instance, the yes looks like this. Now you'll notice that all of them have a white background. So if I go to any one, you see the white background. That's one of the reasons I decided that, at least for the image, to keep that white. I also found a beginning image, which is right there. All right. So what I want to do for the rest of this video, and we're at 10 minutes, so I'm doing okay for time, is twofold. First, I want to go back into my App Inventor, and I want to come in here and I want to start adding or uploading those files. Choose File, Desktop. I've got a folder called Rankin Academy Week 2, Audio Video, Images, and there they are. So there's 0.ping. And what you're going to see is when I get done is all 15 of these will be loaded. All right. But then I went back to my image here and I did set the picture up to 0.ping. I said okay. So what you see there is my interface. The idea is you'll type a question into this area right here. You'll click submit, and when you submit, this will change and give you one of those possible answers. So if I type in here, will I ever be rich? All right, and I click submit. Then what's going to happen is if I click this, it'll probably come back and say no. But you get the idea. And like a magic 8-ball that you see on TV or whatever, it's meant for entertainment only. Now that I look at this, not that this is a big thing, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put a label, or at least try. Let me put a label in there at the top. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put a label at the very top, and that label, I'm just going to call it label filler, which is a stupid name, but I'm going to use that anyway. The height will be, let's make it 2 pixels. Okay, it's not going to have any text in it, and the width is going to be fill parent. That way, when I run this, my picture won't be pushed up against the top. Now, I could put a title there, Magic 8-Ball, sees all, knows all. Let's do that over here in our regular title, and we'll leave the title in there. So let's go back up to our screen, and we'll say Magic 8-Ball sees all, knows all, tells all. And let's see, sees all, comma, knows all, comma, tells all. So that changed that. There we go. Can I take that title? Title visible, tutorial version, etc., etc. And I guess that's fine. Okay, that's fine the way it is. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep coming in here and adding these. If you want, I guess I could have you watch me add each one and do this 15 times. The order in which I do these isn't really going to matter, but so I want to make sure I have them all. I'm going to basically do them in order. There's a total of 16 of them, including the original image, so they're half done. Whoops. For some reason, I don't have a number 12. I don't know what happened, but that's fine. I'll just leave that under. I think there was some answer that didn't make a lot of sense to me, but again, I could be wrong on that. In fact, what I think I'll do is go back and look and see which one I'm missing, and if need be, I can go back and add that one. All right, so I now have at least 15 images here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like I said, I'm missing one image. All right, to me, it's not really worth the time to go back and take a look at that. All right, now, last thing I'm going to do before I stop this video is I'm going to do a connect, reset connection, connect, and see if I can connect to the emulator. This is the first time. It's fairly early in the morning here that I'm trying to do this, just to show you, prove to myself that indeed that this particular app is pretty much going to be looking the way I want it to look. Again, this is part of the more frustrating part. Launch it and try again. Well, that means there's a problem. I don't like that. All right, but I'm going to, rather than saying, okay, I'm going to close the emulator, all right, and I'm going to have to reboot the system, all right. But before I do that, let me stop this lecture and we'll pick it up again in a couple minutes.